We already did the Tampa Bay Buccaneers NFL 2025 draft class breakdown, so why not go to another NFC South team and do the Atlanta Falcons? This was a very interesting draft. They got a bunch of defense and got a bunch of starters. I'm going to go over the grades for each player who was drafted. There's 5 players drafted by the Falcons. Jalen Walker at pick 15. Going to give that an A grading. We'll go over all the players, but just going to give you my gradings for each player. James Pierce Jr. B+, just because they traded their next year's first round pick for him, but he's a great player. Xavier Watts, good value at pick 96, going to give that an A-. Billy Bowman Jr. B+, another safety, but a very good, reliable one. And then Jack Nelson in the 7th round, maybe 6th round, pick 218, we'll say. I'm going to give that a B rating. All right, let's get into the player. Jalen Walker, we already said he gets an A grading, and it makes sense. This guy was top 10 in some boards. He is a monster. And some guys, they're hyped up before the college year starts. And Jalen Walker definitely was that, and he definitely stood up to what he was talked about. He dominated this year. He's dominated his whole career. He can play inside. He's going to be an edge rusher for the Falcons, but he also had a couple interceptions in his college career. But he is a monster. I wanted the Buccaneers to go get him, but Jalen Walker falls all the way to number 15 to the Atlanta Falcons. And Jalen Walker, I just can't believe they got him. Panthers were also projected to get him at 8. They go Ted McMillan. But for the 26th pick, they traded up in the first round to get James Pierce Jr. He was a projected first overall pick at the start of the year, but those character concerns, and he also had a year that was not as great as his 2023 campaign, but he definitely was dominant on the edge, and they go 2 edge rushers in the first round. The main thing that's talked about this trade, though, is trading a 2026 first-round pick. That's why he doesn't really get that high of a grading, because you're really putting a lot of weight on him. You traded your first-round pick for next year, so they really think that this guy, James Pierce Jr., is going to be the franchise edge rusher along with Jalen Walker, and he can be. He's a great player, but the character concerns and not showing up to practices could be a big issue. Xavier Watts at pick 96 in the 3rd round is very good value. They don't have a safety. Well, they have Jesse Bates, but they lost Justin Simmons. They lost Richie Grant, so they need safety depth. They get Xavier Watts at strong safety. Jesse Bates is a free safety. So this is definitely a starting strong safety for the Atlanta Falcons now. And I do like that they picked him. And they're definitely going after all their needs. And that was defense. Last year on offense, they had Bijan. Their receiving core was a lot better. And now they just go with defense. This is their 3rd defensive player they picked, and it's their 3rd pick. So Xavier Watts, he's a ball hawk. He is great at tackling the screens, the bubble screens. He does great on. And in that Indiana game, he played absolutely amazing. Billy Bowman Jr., another player that was projected at the start of the season high in the draft and had a year that he definitely did not want, but still absolutely amazing. It's another safety, so that's probably their backup free safety, strong safety. He's a very, very good player. Played with a very underwhelming Oklahoma team, but another safety who can tackle very, very well and is all over the field. Xavier Watts, he's kind of a guy who, if the ball is going to him, he's batting that down or intercepting the pass. Billy Bowman Jr., he's a tackler. He is going to tackle, he's going to tackle the player any chance he gets. He's all over the field. He's running to the player with the ball, and you can see this is the play that I remember most, the touchdown against Missouri to beat them. Absolutely incredible. And their final pick was Jack Nelson, offensive tackle from Wisconsin. He's a great player. I didn't know too much about him until the draft process started, but looking at his highlights, the defense lineman could not really get past him. They try to put bigger edge rushers on him, still dominates, and I like how they went offensive tackle, and there's not much to say about an offensive tackle. He's a very good pass protector, run protector. He can really do everything. And so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to be part of the GOAT Gang. We're doing every single team's draft grades in the next coming couple weeks, maybe to the NFC South this week. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to be part of the GOAT Gang. And goodbye.